Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jordan Cameron back with another update video of our biggest blow off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest .com bubble 2.0 in crypto history, if you want to say it. Hope everyone out there is having a fantastic day. Just a quick update video. I'm going to be going on vacation for the next week for a wedding, so I will be gone for about a week. But I'm going to probably be making some videos while I'm on vacation. But just give you guys a heads up where I'll be for the next week. But right now, obviously, we just kind of have Bitcoin consolidating for the last few weeks up here, 115, 120,000. Nothing too crazy going on. Kind of just waiting it out for Bitcoin's next impulse to the upside. And if you know anything on this channel, we're going to continue to expect that. We're going to continue to see the biggest blow off top in crypto history here on total market cap, up to that 10 trillion market cap. For the total cryptocurrency market, where everyone will say crypto will change the world and will reach the top of our macro rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. And that's why after we see this biggest blow off top in crypto history, we are expecting a breakdown to the downside of this macro rising wedge after we hit the 4236, after we hit the psychological level of 10 trillion, and we're going to see the .com bubble 2.0, which I think people will once again be calling crypto a scam, and that'll be a buying opportunity for the next 13 to 14 year cycle, for which I believe cryptocurrency will go on to change the world actually. But first, as you guys know, just like the .com bubble of the early 2000s, I am expecting a giant washout towards the end of this year that's, will make everyone not believe in crypto is a scam, right? Very similar to the early 2000s when we had the .com bubble before we obviously saw the internet and internet companies as Amazon, Google, Microsoft become the giant companies that they are today. Okay, but just to kind of go over the charts and why we think this, and just to go over our thesis and just continue to harp that nothing has changed, even though we see a couple red days. It's just like the couple red days that we had just a few weeks ago and just a few months ago. We are expecting this total market cap chart to continue to go up and continue to climb the wall of worry. And I do believe the rate of extension of this total market cap chart will get steeper and steeper and steeper as we go. But you guys can see right now, total market cap just sitting right above its previous all-time high from December. We are in all-time high territory for total market cap. And I think what we are seeing right now, as we did hit all-time highs for total market cap, and we did hit all-time highs for Bitcoin, is if you'll notice that when Bitcoin, right, broke through its previous all-time high, we did get a back test, right, before getting that next impulse to the upside. So as we go over here to total market cap, I would not be surprised over the next, week or two if we do see this come down and, itself also come down and retest its previous all-time high, or somewhere in this weekly vicinity of 3.5 to 3.6 trillion over the next few weeks to build a base and then get that true expansion to the upside here. But ultimately, what we're waiting for, I think if you're a holder and you're just someone that's sitting on the sidelines, and we're not sitting on the sidelines, but holding your crypto, I believe it's just a waiting game right now, and trying to trade this market right now is going to bite you in the ass. I do think that, just continue to stay patient, continue to take profits on your take profit levels is the smart way to go, right? Because on this channel, as we discussed, when we were down here towards the bottom of our rising wedge and we actually got a full breakdown, we continued to harp that we are bullish, right? We are bullish when Bitcoin comes back to that 50 moving average band, when everyone was talking about tariffs, when everyone was saying Trump sucks, right? We were continuing to harp that as long as Bitcoin's above the 50 moving average band, we're going to continue to see Bitcoin rise higher. And that's exactly what happened, right? And what I think is going to happen, and my guess is, whether we come down and back test the previous all-time high for total market cap, or we just bounce up this week, I don't really care as someone who is just going to continue to take profits as this market continues up. But ultimately, I think what you're going to continue to see is as this market continues higher and higher and higher, the rate of ascension of the total market cap chart will get everyone euphoric, right? And get everyone to believe that crypto will change the world. Some altcoin will probably start getting used. There'll be some massive headlines up here, and everyone's going to get sucked in. Your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your uncle. I already said uncle, but you get the point, right? Everyone's going to get sucked in, just like everyone got sucked in over here in 2021, and just got everyone sucked in here in 2017 before ultimately we saw 90% bear markets. I do believe that's going to happen again, as many people, I do think if we get up there, many people are going to believe that a bear market's not possible again, super cycle, all this fun stuff. But ultimately, that's going to be the time that you're going to want to take profits, and you're going to want to take profits on this rise up in general, okay? But ultimately, whatever happens over the next week or two does not change our thesis. I do think that we're going to continue to see the euphoria phase over the next few months. And I think anyone who's positioned for that, anyone who's positioned for that through March and April, or even 2023 and 2024, if you were building your positions throughout those last 3 years, I think you're going to be a very, very happy person over the next few months, as typically the end of the 4-year cycle is the part where altcoins get their rise. And that's what I do think is coming here over the next few months. We've already started to see it, right? We already saw altcoins finally break through that major level here, right here at 750 billion. We're actually coming back down and back testing that now. Just as total market cap comes down and back tests its previous all-time high. So I think everything's kind of coming together. I also think if we go over here to total 3 chart, this as well, I don't know why this line got a little bit messed up, but if we look at this as well, what I think we are going to see or continue to see is this rising wedge, which is in its own right. This is the altcoin market. This is basically minus Bitcoin, minus ETH, and minus stable coins. I think is going to continue and up its rising wedge, and this is going to be the part of the cycle where you're going to start to see altcoins go absolutely nuts up to the top of its rising wedge. Okay, so as we kind of go along here, and we look forward to some of the reasons why we do think that this blow off top for crypto is going to come is we simply go over here to the stablecoin dominance chart. We got plenty of room to run, guys. Once again, stablecoin dominance is getting a little bit of a bounce, just like we saw over here in May, just like we saw over here in June. And we're seeing a little bit of a bounce here again, but ultimately what that led to is lower lows on the stablecoin dominance chart. And I do believe that if we look at this as a whole, this is one giant range on stablecoin dominance, and I do believe this is going to come down to the bottom of this range. And as you guys know, it is inversely correlated to the total market cap chart. So if we're expecting this to come back down to the bottom of the range at the very, very least, I think it's actually going to make a new low and get everyone super excited. This move down on stablecoin dominance is ultimately what is going to lead to this move up on total market cap, as they are inversely correlated. And what I believe comes after that is this giant Wyckoff accumulation structure. If you guys look, this kind of looks like a typical crypto bear market, where you have this long bear market, right? You have this accumulation structure that's building here. And typically what you get is this final knockdown low before you get that rise and expansion. And what I think is ultimately happening here, and I've said this many, many times, is this is Wyckoff accumulation for the stablecoin market. Okay, I believe there's a lot of bullish narratives on stablecoins and whatnot. You guys can come up with whatever narrative you want of why this chart will play out. Whether people are selling crypto into stablecoins, or people are starting to hold stablecoins because they start getting used, whatever you want to call it, I do believe this is a Wyckoff accumulation chart. And if the stablecoin dominance chart ultimately busts up out of here, I do believe that is going to cause the total market cap chart to go down, and ultimately create the biggest bear market that we've seen in crypto towards the end of this year and the beginning of 2026. So as we kind of go along, this is one of the major reasons why we do believe that there is a lot of upside left to go in the crypto market. But ultimately, I don't think it is very long, right? I think there is a lot of upside in terms of percentage, but I don't think there's a lot of time left. So I think making do of why you can. If you do get dips, I think it's the time to looking at buying dips. If you're not already in the market, don't FOMO. Make sure you're buying on the red days. But ultimately, I don't think there is a lot of time left. And the longer you wait and the higher this market goes, the more risk you're putting yourself into of saying, I don't want to miss out. I'm buying the dip. But ultimately, once again, for the people that got in down here, or throughout this consolidation, or out through the bear market of 2022 and 2023, ultimately what you're looking to is taking profits as this market continues up. And I do believe this market's going to continue up after this little Bitcoin sideways consolidation is over. And I do believe that after this Bitcoin sideways consolidation is over here, the next impulse up on Bitcoin is going to be an absolutely massive impulse here on the altcoin market. And that's where a majority of the percentage gains are going to come from your coins like Ethereum, XRP, Chainlink, CRV, Crow, HBAR, XLM, all of your utility coins, I think are going to go absolutely berserk, because I do believe there's going to be some narrative that's going to get this market absolutely roaring up over these next few weeks. All right. So obviously stablecoin dominance is our main reason why we think the market's going to go up. But just to harp again, we got time here on the global liquidity. Okay. Bitcoin has followed global liquidity for the last 3 years. Stop fading it until it doesn't work. Right. So if it follows global liquidity to 2 to 3 month lag, global liquidity is putting here kind of a local top here towards the, if we extrapolate it out about 2 to 3 months, you guys notice it'll putting in a local top here towards the middle of end of September. So I do think the market's going to be generally bullish until about the middle of end of September at the very, very earliest. Okay, so here we got some time here. Bitcoin's going to be consolidating. Boo-hoo, right? It's a little bit boring. But ultimately, I don't think these boring days are going to last too long. I think Bitcoin's going to continue to follow this global liquidity chart. And the altcoin market is going to follow this global liquidity chart to the upside. Now, as we kind of go along here and we start to look forward, I think my main target for Bitcoin here is this pi cycle top green moving average as we were talking about. It just continues to go higher, but right now that is currently at about 180,000. That's kind of my target for Bitcoin on this next impulse to the upside. Doesn't have to do it straight away, as you guys know, but ultimately that's kind of my target for this impulse for Bitcoin. As you guys can see that over here back in March of 2024, we hit it, and that was the pullback zone. And many times in the past, 2019, right? Throughout 2016 and 2017, that was major resistance. I think if we can finally break through that, that's really when you start to see the euphoric phases of the market. But until we get through that pi cycle top green moving average, which is the fast moving average, ultimately that's going to be the major resistance zone as seen in the past for Bitcoin. So that's my target for Bitcoin, but ultimately I think it's going to be the altcoin market that really gets set flying here for this last 5 to 6 months of this bull market. I don't even think, I think 6 months is even stretching it. We've seen the market top at the end of the 4-year cycle in October, November, December, Q4, almost every single time, right? Not almost every single time, but literally every single cycle. I think it's going to happen again in this cycle where September, October, November, December, somewhere in that zone is going to be the top of the cryptocurrency market. We don't have that much time left. You might be seeing, Jordan, how in the hell could the total market cap chart get to 10 trillion by the end of this year? That seems absolutely ridiculous. Well, you haven't been around in crypto for too long if you think that is totally ridiculous. All right, so update video today. That's really it. We got the Coinbase app sort of cooling down a little bit, which is what we want to see. This was actually ticking up. We actually got as high as 63. It's all the way back down to 220. So while Bitcoin has only gone down about 5%, altcoins may be down 10% from their highs. We've seen Coinbase app reset all the way back to 232, which is really, really good. Sentiment still not that great. And that's exactly what we want to see going forward here. So good stuff going on, guys. Patience during this little chop. I don't think it's going to last too long. And the patient people, I think, are ultimately going to be the winners here for the next few months. So catch you guys in the next video. Like I said, I'm going to make a few videos while I'm on vacation. Just so make sure you guys watch out for those. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you guys subscribe. Only 25% of you guys who watch these videos are subscribed. So we're going to hit 100K within the next month. I'm calling it, but I'm counting on you guys to come in. Join the journey. If you guys want to follow the journey of the biggest blow-off top in crypto history, followed by the biggest rug pull, and you want to be here for it, whether it happens and you say, wow, I can't believe it happened, or it doesn't happen, and you say, Jordan, you are such an idiot. How could you think that could happen? And you want to crap at me in the comments section. Well, I don't care which one you do, right? But I'll welcome you guys to the next video. Thank you guys for coming out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.